It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got CJ Stroud. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Texans and the Jets, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Able to slither by, and somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, 6 carries, 66 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. Now inside the 25. Garrett Wilson. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Garrett Wilson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week. 15 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
A key component of his team's offense. He will certainly stay in that role if he keeps producing like this each week. Expect him to make a run and not only matching, but exceeding those numbers.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
They need 18 yards here on third down. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down.
Fourth and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jets will take over. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get
touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Point after, right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Dameon Pierce capped things off with a touchdown grab. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. You look at the defense for these Texans. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
On is the punter Hecker as he gets this one away. With it is Brown. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Pierce and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it,
Most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. John Franklin Myers able to record his 5th sack of the season. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Stroud now on 2nd down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jermaine Johnson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. New York's offense back out there and set to go. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Throwing is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
(7-7) our score after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. Here's Rodgers. And check down complete to Hall. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, they got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it, and they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
New York set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He dumps this one off here to Hall. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Rodgers now to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's got room. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 2nd and 6. Stroud working out of the gun. And this one's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Stroud on 3rd down now. Under pressure, and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. A 4-receiver set here, 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now Brown. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Texans will take over. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Jermaine Johnson able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. They go again with Pierce. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On third down, here's Hall. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Quentin Williams in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. This will be fielded at the 17. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a gain of a yard, and what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half. From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 9. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We saw Dameon Pierce put together a strong performance in that first half. He had 3 catches in that opening part of the game and wound up with a touchdown reception as well. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Throwing now is Stroud. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Pierce now up the middle. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Stroud. That's underneath to Pierce. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And Stroud now to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down and a yard. Man in motion left. That's Collins. Back to the ground with Pierce. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So that is not the way you want to begin the half when you're only up by 1 score. A turnover right away.
And my guess that in the locker room, that's what the defensive coordinator on the other side was saying. We've got to find a way to get the football back for our offense, and they were able to do it.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Pierce takes it straight ahead. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now a handoff for Pierce. Down to about the 22 here. 68 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now 2nd and 3. Stroud out of the gun here. Throw right side taken in by Collins. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down and a pickup of 5 yards. Now Stroud. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Stroud. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. John Franklin Myers getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. A first throw for the backup, Wilson. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And now out comes Houston. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
But these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Again, it's Stroud. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. A run for Pierce out of the gun, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
But he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, 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 and final.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. On the return is Xavier Gibson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly,
Ultimately, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back now in Houston. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Now Wilson. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
And his kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Houston set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards. Stroud looking to throw. Another one caught by Collins. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Hand off left side, Pierce. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Stroud sets up the play action. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mills, and he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Another carry for Pierce. Shelling through the defense. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 21. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Mills now. touchdown. Dameon Pierce with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth-quarter lead. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick. And we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
Yeah, not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a jet was shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. And a 7-yard return following a punt to 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Mills now on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. That's complete to Pierce. Touchdown, Houston. Damian Pierce, 30 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return is Gibson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New York ready to go again offensively. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Samuel. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He gets it underneath to Hall. Done a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Here's a 2nd and 5. Wilson will throw again. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
That's interference. Defense.
So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. That's Samuel, caught left side. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Curtis Samuel from 4 yards out. And the Jets get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Wilson gonna throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Houston, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.